significant effects on the impacts over land, and we might be seeing one of those turns right now. So over recent hours, we've seen Alfred moving in a west-southwest direction. It's quoted at 8 kilometres now on the latest warning, and we might have just seen that start to turn around to the west-northwest on the satellite. It's still not quoted there, but we do need to wait a little bit longer to be completely sure of that. The important thing is that we're forecasting a west-northwest movement. So if we get more of that west-southwest, we're getting much closer to the Gold Coast. Now, if all that goes to plan, we expect to see Category 2 Cyclone Alfred affecting the Bayside Islands into the early hours of tomorrow morning, likely weakening to Category 1. It hasn't been sampled on the map here, but it should be one closer to Redcliffe or Bribie. That's the centre of the path. Of course, we do have uncertainty in that. Then weakening to a low-pressure system after that. Of course, plenty of lingering rain longer term. So, Sam, all of that has big impacts in terms of the wind and especially the surge on the Gold Coast. Through the early hours of tomorrow, we have that high tide early. If we get strong winds, then we have a much bigger chance of a surge through those hours.
That's very good. Thank you, Tony. You also have a new tool that can help forecast the impact of Alfred.
Yes, that's right. So it's something I've been using for years in terms of forecasting, and finally, I get to show it to you. So let's start from the beginning. We'll see what's happening now. Here we have the satellite in white. That's showing what's happening with the cloud. The radar here is picking up what's happening with the rain. This is what's actually happening now. In terms of transposing that into one of our forecast models, this is the wind from the ECMWF model. This is calculated in Europe, a supercomputer there. It's been the gold standard over years. It has a resolution of 16 kilometres. Think a few suburbs across, 16 Ks. It gives us some great responses and some great info up to 10, even 15 days now, depending on the situation. So take note, we've got the centre of the circulation here. We can see a good belt of winds around it, but it's pretty round. It's pretty, vague, if you like. Let's put the glasses on. This is the Access C model. It's a high resolution, locally programmed model here. You can see there's a lot more detail. We've dropped from 16 Ks down to 1.5K resolution. We're almost down to street level. Now this system here has picked up at times individual storm cells and really accurate wind interactions with the coast as well. Sea breezes, land breezes. I use it for my surfing at times. So you can see here it's not just around centre. We're getting these little wobbles, these interactions with the eye or partial eye wall of Cyclone Alfred. A much better idea of this jet of really strong winds on the coastal side. And you can see these convergence areas as well. It's not just a round loop without any detail. Moving ahead, if we take this forecast, going ahead towards landfall, you'll see the forecast track was pretty straight. This one's even picking up those little wobbles that we've actually seen in real life. Not necessarily true, but it's trying to really replicate those actual dynamics that we see in the atmosphere. You can see these intense bands of wind pushing in on the southern side, wobbling through, eventually moving in over land. And even after that, we can see these intense bands of converging winds that are likely to cause that heavy rain